another video about living in the UK. Today's title is what it's really like to work in the UK from an American perspective. Disclaimer, these are all my opinions. These are not facts. I'm just stating my experience to Americans who want to know what it's like, or maybe even English people who want to know what it's like from an American perspective. If it feels like I have been missing from my YouTube channel, I have. Last month I have only done 2 videos, and that is so bad. It's unlike me. But your girl has a job. Yes, I am actually working in the UK now. It's made life a lot more exciting because I'm able to meet different people and get out there and have coworkers and have stuff to do during the day besides, I don't know, cleaning. I kind of lucked out with my job because where I work, they have an American division. So I still am in contact with America on a day-to-day basis. So it's kind of like a good ease into working in a different country, but still working with a full English staff. Well, actually, at my job, there's a France department, an American department, an international department. I think there is Germany, we work with companies all over the world. So that being said, I lucked out. I was able to still kind of have that home vibe and speak with Americans daily. Not that I need to, but it kind of just helps, I think, in a way. So I've decided to break this down into segments, which your girl took notes. I'm going to break this down into segments where I tell you how to apply, where to apply, what it's like, all that good stuff. So first of all, we're going to start with applying for a job in the UK. Okay, so when you're looking for a job, the first thing you want to do as an American is change your resume to a CV. Now, basically they're the same thing, but they're just worded a little bit different and maybe a little bit of a different setup compared to a resume. I was lucky enough to have a mother-in-law who let me use her CV. Apparently, she used to get jobs really easy, and when I tell you her CV, it's good. It's good. But if you're not that fortunate, Google it. I know some of you guys may be watching this in hopes to come to the UK to work. So I would definitely Google a CV, set your resume up that way if you want to apply to jobs in the UK, and go from there. Once you've converted your resume, it's time to hit the pavement. And by the pavement, you know I mean Google, right? Jobs.com, Indeed.com. What I found funny was it's just the same site as in America, but with UK jobs. I think Indeed.co.uk is what I used a lot in the beginning, I think. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Or you can even use a recruitment agency. I know a lot of my friends here told me that they got their jobs through a recruitment agency. I wouldn't really do that at home, not just because I don't know about it. I just don't know where a recruitment agency is in Florida. I know, and I'm pretty sure there's loads, but I've personally never used one. So this is the #1 mistake I made when I was applying for jobs. When I was applying for jobs, I feel like I'm repeating that a lot. When I was applying for jobs, I was just literally sending a cover letter and a resume like you would normally do and not getting any response. And this was way back before Christmas time. And when I first got here, I felt like, oh, I need a job. I need to get out. I need to do stuff. I need to meet people. And I guess maybe one, because it was right before holidays. I don't know if a lot of people were hiring, but I wasn't getting any response. Like none. Your inbox was empty. Crickets. Then we were driving, I don't know where we were going one day, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should let jobs here already know that I have a visa. Because as an American applying for a job in the UK, when they look at your CV, they're going to say, oh, does this person want to be sponsored? And I don't think that's the right way to go at a sponsorship for applying for every jobs. Some of them, yes, you just send your CV in hopes that they'll be willing to sponsor you from America to come over here. But if not, I definitely say in your cover letter. Once I did this, my inbox was raining with job interview invitations. Like, way too many. Way too many. So I started doing, the interview process, which brings me to our next step. I didn't do any group interviews. I've only had a few of those in the States, but in the interview setting, there was always more than one person. Now, in most of the job interviews that I've had in America, there's usually just one person in the room. I don't think I've ever had a full-on manager, employee, or manager from different departments sit down and all talk to me at once. I've never had that personally, but that is how a lot of the interviews went here. I'd say all of the ones I went to, there was at least like the owner, the manager, and maybe a coworker that you'd be working with in your department. And unfortunately, none of the interviews I went to were for me. I wasn't feeling it. I think I liked one, but I didn't like the hours. And this is my first time being a real life commuter, like going to jobs that are a little bit further from home. And I just didn't really like the location of where the one that I really liked was. So I decided to give up on my job hunt, and I was just gonna not chill, but I was just gonna take it easy and still adjust to moving here, because moving here is an adjustment in its own. Different culture, different food, different atmosphere, just different. It's just different. But I did apply to a whole bunch of jobs, and one job randomly called me back a few weeks later. I went to the interview and it flowed. I love that my job is so multicultural. I love the people there. It just meshed. It clicked. It was amazing. And I left there with a big change of heart. I was like, okay, I know I said I didn't want to work anymore, but now I do. I want to get my foot in the door here. I love this company. I love what they have to offer. And I'm hoping that the ability to rise within the company is definitely an option for me. So I was, fingers crossed, and then called your girl back. So my first week was the induction phase. I never really had this back in America as well. Usually I was just kind of thrown to the wolves. When you start, you just start. Instead of learning the ins and outs of what department does this and what department does that and just details on the company, I've kind of just been thrown in and said, okay, start. And with this job, that definitely wasn't the case. They sat me down. We had a whole little induction day of learning the company's ins and outs. Okay, so the atmosphere to me, it kind of reminds me of back home, and I guess this just may be my last job, but everybody is so open and friendly and nice. I haven't had anyone that's been like crazy, but I didn't have that at my last job either. So one thing that I have definitely noticed is that the banter is on 100. There's always a laugh going on, but you do work, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely a good just office atmosphere where I'm at. Everything from the owners making jokes to the employees going back and forth with each other, it's a good time. It's a good laugh. We focus, we get our work done, but it's also just a good place to be in. It's a lot of positive vibbery. And lastly are the differences in working. Things that maybe will affect you and you kind of have to think twice about when you're working. One is the keyboard. I don't know if it's, I'm gonna try and maybe put an American keyboard on the screen and then an English keyboard on the screen. I'm a really good typer. I don't have to look at the keyboard ever. And now my pound sign has moved. My dollar sign has moved. I think my slash has moved as well. I don't know, like the keyboard is so different. I know that sounds so stupid, but just little things that you would normally think of, you kind of have to, oh yeah, pay attention, because you can't just type all crazy. Next, working for a UK company, even though I work for the American department, it does help me out because I'm emailing Americans and calling Americans. So when I'm emailing, I don't really have to watch how I spell things because I'm speaking to people who spell like me. But when it's something internally throughout the office, I kind of try to watch my spelling with realize or color or tires or whatever the word is. There's different spelling that I try to I told my husband when I first started working that was going to be my downfall. I need computers to have spell check, and one of the programs we use at work doesn't have spell check, so I really do have to watch what I'm writing when I'm writing it for internal purposes. So that is something definitely to think about. Even when you're doing your CV, when I changed my resume to a CV, I changed all my spellings to UK spellings instead of American spellings. Girl, this one gets me every time. When the date is written like this, and I'm used to it being written like this, do you know what's so confusing? When you don't know if people are talking about March 9th or September 3rd. So it's just things like that you really have to pay attention to. It's okay when it's like the 23rd of December, because you can't really have a month that's the 23. But when it's the low months and the low numbers in the month, girl, it's a little it's a little confusing. And one of the best things about working in the UK is the holiday vacation for my Americans. Holiday time is amazing. I think in America at my job I had a max of 3 weeks, 15 days. I think it would be 15 days. And I don't know if those included sick or not. I'm just guessing here. But I think I had 15 days in my last job. And here I have 28. What? 28 days off to, you know, like do whatever you want to do. It is crazy to me that we have this much time off in the UK. But in America, we can barely get 15 days. That is crazy. I That's probably my favorite part about working here, is the days off. So that's what it's been like for me to work in the UK. If you guys have any specific questions, let me know below in the comments section. Always, always, always remember to spread love, inspire others, and strive for greatness. And I'll see y'all soon.